Now on 4 News Now at 6, in the middle of a robbery investigation, officers are led to Riverfront Park. The chilling discovery made in the water near the carousel.
Our beautiful weather won't be around much longer. I'll help you plan your weekend as conditions begin to take a turn.
Because it could happen to anybody.
Fire in Medical Lake destroyed home after home, but one home is still standing. Fire crews show us what saved it and how you can take the same precautions. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
First on 4 News Now, a body was recovered from the Spokane River early this afternoon in Riverfront Park. Thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Kirsten O'Connor.
And I'm Derek Dice. Police say a dive team was gearing up to search the river for evidence related to a downtown robbery when they discovered the body. Jordan Smith was there when it happened. He is live in Riverfront Park tonight with the very latest. Jordan.
Yeah, that body was pulled from the water here behind me, and we'll step out of the way so you can see exactly. It happened in that back right corner where you can see that crane. They used that to retrieve the body from the water. At a shocking discovery. As you mentioned, the Spokane County dive team was here searching for evidence in a case completely unrelated to a missing person. They were searching for evidence from a robbery that happened in downtown in late March when a couple was bear sprayed and robbed after using an ATM by a large group of people. Police tell me security camera footage revealed one of the suspects had thrown a piece of evidence into the river as they were running away. That's what the dive team was here to find. Spokane police say they worked with Avista to lower the water levels to make that dive easier, and that's when they saw the body.
We were able to have Avista reduce the water in the area here to make that dive a little bit easier, and in the process of taking the water down, unfortunately we found a deceased person in the water as well.
And crews placed that body into a thick yellow bag before lifting it out of the water. The whole process took about 2 hours before crews wrapped up. And the medical examiner is working now to identify this person, the identity of this person rather, and the cause of their death. We'll keep you up to date as we learn more information. For now, reporting live in downtown, Jordan Smith, 4 News Now.
Jordan, thank you. A man is in critical condition tonight after driving his car into the Spokane River. The Spokane Fire Department says the man crashed into the river at Upriver Drive in Cuba in the Minnehaha neighborhood. Firefighters first arrived to see the man floating in the river. Then he became trapped underwater near a temporary construction bridge. Thankfully, a crew was able to rescue him and take him to the hospital. No word yet on what caused the crash. Police said this crash is not connected to the body that was pulled from the river in Riverfront Park today.
2 people are dead after a head-on collision on I-90. Washington State Patrol says 24-year-old Megan McDaniel from Spokane Valley was driving the wrong way when she crashed into a car driven by a 59-year-old Spokane man. The name of the driver McDaniel hit has not been released. The freeway was closed for more than 4 hours during the morning commute. At one point, traffic was backed up 3 miles as drivers were routed off of I-90 and onto Altamont Street.
All right, here's a live look over downtown Spokane where the weather will soon take a turn for the worse over the weekend. Here is Chris Crocker with your first alert forecast.
We do have some changes coming. In the meantime, though, it is going to be a beautiful Friday. Warm on Saturday, but clouds are going to be increasing and the showers arrive late in the day. And that takes us into a cool, wet Bloomsday. Meantime, here's a look at the view over the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena right now. It's a mix of sun and clouds, and some of those clouds are producing very light sprinkles. Here's a look at our Doppler radar, and we're looking up around the Sandpoint area, heading down toward Newport at this light precipitation in progress. Let's take a look now at the camera from Sandpoint. I saw a few sprinkles briefly on the roads, but it's barely enough to even show up. This is very, very light. Precipitation might need one brush of your windshield wipers there in Newport. Meanwhile, we are going to see warmer overnight lows across the region. Most locations should be safe from a frost. Just some of the outlying areas will be down around freezing. We'll be 37 with sunshine to start the day on Friday. We're heading up to a high of 65, which is right about average. 63 is our average high. Some clouds developing in the afternoon, but we are dry during the day Friday. That will be our last dry day for a while. I'll be back to go over the timing on that Bloomsday forecast in just a few minutes. Kirsten.
Thank you, Chris. Well, the family of a man killed by a fellow patient at Eastern State Hospital wants the state of Washington to pay for the crime. Daniel Zellmer was a patient at Eastern State Hospital, involuntarily committed there in March of 2022. On March 17th of that year, he was watching TV in a common area when the lawsuit says a man named Marty Ellis came to the doorway and gestured for Zellmer to come out of the room. At the time, Ellis was a 5-time convicted felon who was facing charges for attacking a woman in downtown Spokane. Attorneys say Ellis then spit at Zellmer, kicked him in the stomach, and punched him 6 to 7 times in the face, dropping him to the ground. Attorneys say Zellmer went into a vegetative state, never regained consciousness. He died 9 days later from those injuries.
In the lawsuit, attorneys say the attack was foreseeable by Eastern and would not have occurred had Eastern taken adequate and/or reasonable steps in accordance with its own policies and procedures to monitor and supervise Mr. Ellis. To learn why Ellis hasn't stood trial for Zellmer's death, you can find this story on our website, KXLY.com. Well, this is what it looks like when an ember comes into contact with something flammable, like twigs or dry plants. It can smolder for a bit, but with wind, it can look like this after just a matter of minutes. According to the Spokane fire officials, embers are the #1 cause of homes igniting in wildfires.
May is Wildfire Awareness Month, and to kick it off, fire officials want to show you how to protect your home before the start of wildfire season. Marissa Rio shares why fire officials say one home in Medical Lake survived the Gray Fire and what lessons others can take away.
Many homes in this area of Medical Lake are no longer standing because of the Gray Fire, but as you can see, this house still is. There are some burn marks that I want you to take a look around her home, but her house is still safe. Fire officials are here today to talk about the preventative steps that this homeowner took that you can also take in the case of a wildfire.
Could happen to anybody. I never thought it was going to happen to me.
As someone who lost his home in the Gray Fire, Assistant Fire Chief Stevens wants the community to be proactive. While he walks through the destruction that was once his home, he says there were a lot of lessons learned from the fire.
We have a lot of pine trees, a lot of cottonwood trees, things like that, that if we took the time as a community to limb them up and clean up the areas, it would reduce that fuel that makes the fires grow so much faster and move so much quicker.
We saw just how catastrophic those fuels can be in both the Gray and Oregon Road fires. Today, melted metal and charred wood still scar the city of Medical Lake, but within the midst of the destruction is one home that remains standing.
And so they had burning here, but this 5-foot zone 1 prevented the fire from reaching the home. So that's why we really want nothing that can burn within 5 feet of the home.
Outside of that 5-feet zone, Guy Gifford says one can get a little more lenient. One thing that can be improved on this property, though, is the garage door.
I can easily put my hand underneath into the garage, which means embers can get in there too. So putting a good seal around your doors, making sure wind can't get in or snow in the winter, prevents embers from getting in the house or the garage during the summer.
While these preventative measures are great, Assistant Fire Chief Stevens wants to stress the importance of always having an evacuation plan. In Medical Lake, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
Really good and important tips to hear about right now. Fire season is going to be here before you know it. Things may get started even earlier this year after a warm and dry winter.
And that includes up in the mountains where the snowpack isn't looking so good. Meteorologist Matt Gray has been tracking it for us. So Matt, what's the status?
So this is the lowest snowpack here in the beginning of May since, get this, 2016. Now how fast the rest of it melts this spring will have some important implications for later this year. So stick around. I've got a full snowpack update for you coming up at 6:30.
And this fire closing a major interstate in Connecticut. What investigators say caused this massive inferno.
Plus, a push to clean America's water supply. How the Biden administration plans on spending $3 billion to remove toxic materials from your drinking water.
Here's a live look at downtown Spokane, where preparations are underway for Bloomsday and the kickoff of the 50th anniversary of Expo 74. We'll fill you in on all the details you need to join in on the celebration next. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV.
Coats for Kids Closet Cleanout is brought to you by 4 News Now at STCU. Have you worked or enjoyed the outdoors in Lincoln County before 2014? You may have been exposed to harmful Libby amphibole asbestos. Get your free asbestos health screening today. Don't wait. Early detection is key. Contact the Card Clinic at libbyasbestos.org.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms. If you or a loved one were stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987 and were later diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or other serious health effects, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Call right now to find out if you qualify.
Call 1-800-435-6817. 1-800-435-6817.
Dupixent helps people with asthma breathe better in as little as 2 weeks. And when you can breathe better, what isn't better? This is better. This is better. That's better. And that. Even this. Dupixent is an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma. It works with your asthma medicine to help improve lung function. That's pretty good. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's proven to help prevent asthma attacks. It can reduce or even eliminate oral steroids. And doesn't that make things better? Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Tell your doctor right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. When you can get more out of your lungs, you can do more with less asthma. And isn't that better? Ask your doctor about Dupixent, the most prescribed biologic in asthma.
When it's time to protect your home, call Everhart Painting, Spokane's premier painting contractor. Everhart Painting takes care of every detail and backs the results with their industry-leading warranty. Call now for our spring special. Everhart Painting, your painter for life.
Hi, I'm Matt Gray with 4 News Now. For families with young children, here are some tips that can teach them about money and how it works.
Have your young child play with coins and bills so they start recognizing currency. Take 10 dimes, count them out to show how this adds up to a dollar bill. Make it fun. Use Play Money and set up a pretend store or a restaurant to teach about earning and spending money.
There are lots of great ways to teach your kids about money. For more tips, go to becu.org.
It's going to be a busy weekend in downtown Spokane with more than 25,000 people filling the streets for Bloomsday on Sunday.
On Saturday, the city will kick off its 9-week-long celebration of the 1974 World's Fair that completely transformed downtown Spokane. Our Bronte Sorosky is live in Riverfront Park with how the city is gearing up.
Well, from restaurants staffing up to Bloomies getting in their final training, it's clear that this is going to be a fun and full week in Spokane. And if you do plan to come downtown this weekend, you're going to want to come prepared.
I've always thought we owe a debt of gratitude to everybody that created Expo 74.
This year's Bloomsday weekend is slated to be unlike any other because it also falls during the kickoff to Spokane's 9 weeks of Expo celebrations.
I don't think we could have had a Bloomsday run without an Expo 74 because the changes that it created in the downtown area and the creation of Riverfront Park.
With so much excitement buzzing throughout the city, downtown businesses are staffing up for an influx of customers. Staff at O'Doherty's say they couldn't be in a better spot to soak it all in.
We're right at the end of the race. We're ready for you, and we'll get you some refreshing drinks after, yeah.
Lily O'Doherty tells me she's excited for new customers and old, some that even make visiting O'Doherty's a post-race tradition.
Yes, they make it a point to stop here for their little shot of Irish whiskey at the end.
Meanwhile, Bloomies are excited to see Spokane transformed into one of their favorite events of the year.
All the bands that are doing the music as you're running by and all the people cheering you on and supporting you. It's a really cool event.
If you do plan to head downtown this weekend, expect crowds and pack accordingly.
There is a clear bag policy, so if you are going into your corral, make sure you have a clear bag only or else you will be turned away for safety reasons.
Parking will be hard to come by, but this year, STA is offering free rides on Saturdays and Sundays, all throughout the Expo celebrations. And the Bloomsday Trade Show starts tomorrow morning, where you'll be able to pick up everything that you need for race day. Reporting live in Spokane, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
Thank you, Bronte. And because it's an Olympic year, a number of elite athletes have dropped out of Bloomsday, but organizers are still expecting a stacked field of competitors. Sports director Julian Minnesone shows us the big names you can expect coming up tonight at 6:30.
Well, for anyone taking part in Bloomsday, you might want to avoid driving into the downtown area. Instead, you can use a free shuttle from any one of these locations you see on your screen here. For more information about the shuttle and road closures, just look for this story on KXLY.com. Chris?
Well, and if you take the bus, you might not have to walk in the rain as much. We do have rain coming for Bloomsday, but what a beautiful evening right now. Partly cloudy skies. We'll be in the 50s by 7 o'clock, 40s by 11, but most locations will stay above freezing overnight. I'll be back with your Bloomsday weekend forecast after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Women Helping Women Fund.
With Fargo, the new virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, you can instantly know what you spend on things like food.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries this month?
Hey, Dad, can the guy stay for dinner?
No.
Want faster, easier banking? You can with Wells Fargo.
At Liberty Park, we've been growing our own since 1928, and we continue to be your go-to greenhouse for all your gardening needs, including custom container planting. We have a colorful selection of annuals, perennials, and hanging baskets. With several varieties of tomatoes and other veggie starts, we have all you need to kick off your vegetable garden. We also carry yard art, soil, and pots of all sizes and colors. Liberty Park Greenhouse and Garden Center is now open in the historic South Perry District.
Hi, I'm Bruce Shaver. These are my 2 sons, Gary and John, and we built this deck. We won't settle for anything less than contractor grade.
So we get all of our building materials and supplies from Par.
Par, family owned since 1930. Go where the builders go.
What are you gonna build?
Join STCU Best of Broadway for classic comedies, family favorites, and blockbuster hits live at First Interstate Center for the Arts. Season tickets include Stephen Sondheim's smash hit musical comedy Company, Funny Girl, the hit Broadway show with one of the greatest musical scores of all time, hilarious fan favorite Beetlejuice, feel-good celebration Mamma Mia, and the multi-Tony Award-winning new musical MJ. Order season tickets to reserve your seats now at BroadwaySpokane.com.
Depression and anxiety rob millions of us of our day-to-day lives, but nothing seems to pull you out of it. Introducing Neurostim TMS, Washington's leading provider of transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS therapy. TMS activates the natural function of the brain's neurotransmitters to improve mood and regulate emotion. TMS is not shock therapy. It's an FDA-approved, easy outpatient experience and covered by all major medical insurances. Visit neurostimtms.com or call to schedule your free consultation now.
With Fargo, the new virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, you can pick up the tab even when you forget your wallet. I got this.
Fargo, send Kaz $145 to Zelle.
Smooth. Do you, Fargo? You can with Wells Fargo.
All right, welcome back.
Well, they call it Bloomsday for a reason. It's going to be a lot of flowers blooming in all that rain.
Absolutely. And that is, you know, we are not in a position to turn our nose up at any rain coming. So, you know, you take it when you can get it. A beautiful evening right now, though. Geez, it's clear in Coeur d'Alene. That's the view there of US 95 and I-90. We've got some clouds here in Spokane passing through. Wouldn't rule out an isolated sprinkle. In fact, we do have a little bit of light rain that has moved through the Sandpoint area, around the Newport area. A check of cameras, it really is only amounting to a few sprinkles, and that is going to continue to dissipate as we get into the overnight. Here's our chance of rain over the next few days. We're at 0 for Friday. We do have a chance of showers on Saturday. Still working on the timing on that. As early as Friday morning, mid-morning, we could see some light precipitation, but the best chance is going to be late Saturday into Sunday, an 80% chance of measurable rain on Sunday, and then it begins to taper off as we get into Tuesday. And we are not talking about showers, we're going to get some good soaking rains out of the deal. Here's our weather pattern getting into Saturday, stopping at 1 o'clock as that cold front makes its way into our area. Saturday is actually going to be a warm day. We're going to make it up into the upper 60s, and then the front comes through and we will have a rather dramatic drop for Sunday. And as we get into Sunday, we will see that good chance of rain developing. Here's 9 o'clock. Right at the time that the race is getting started. And you see some blue on the computer model. This is not a very precise computer model yet. We're still far enough out. Those are mountain showers, snow showers. You will not be getting snowed on during the race, but you will likely at least have to jump over some big puddles because we are looking at beneficial rains, up to a ½ inch of precipitation around the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. Some locations could get up to 3/4 of an inch of rain that we need. There's going to be, as I mentioned, a big drop in temperatures from 68 on Saturday to 49 on Sunday. We're going to stay below average through the middle of next week before we start warming up again about this time next week. Morning lows will be above freezing. We're out of the woods in terms of a frost in most locations. High temperatures on Fridays will be in the 60s and 70s, which is just about average. Nice and warm on Saturday, but not necessarily dry. Bloomsday Sunday, the coolest and wettest day of the 7-day forecast. Kirsten.
Yeah, it's not looking good. But we'll just put a good spin on it. Thank you, Chris. In the 4 News Now story tracker, taking a look at our top stories online, thousands of you have watched last night's special report about a 4th grade teacher in Spokane who tested positive for illegal drugs.
She was also arrested twice in 24 hours, and parents in the school wanted to know how she's still allowed to teach their kids. Natalie Grant spent weeks looking into the issue and talking to those parents. She uncovered a lengthy investigation into Brown Elementary School teacher Casey Miller. We found out Miller was already on leave for a domestic violence arrest when she tested positive for cocaine twice. On our website, you can see that investigation and find out what the district agreed to in order to allow Miller back into the classroom. We also want you to see our sources, the documents used to tell this story. You can find all of that in the special report. It's under Top Stories on KXLY.com. Well, with the warmer weather, more families are loading up the car and hitting the hundreds of hiking trails across the inland Northwest.
We'll explain why the trail might not be to blame for your back pain following a long hike. And over 16,000 pounds of ground beef sold at Walmart being recalled. What officials say it may be contaminated with, coming up on 4 News Now.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Ready for action? It's no holds barred as King of the Cage features upcoming MMA stars battling it out for their next big ticket fight. King of the Cage, live at Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, June 13th.
Winning is just the beginning.
When your child has moderate to severe eczema, it's okay for them to show off. Show off their clearer skin and noticeably less itch with Dupixent. Because children 6 months and older with eczema have plenty of reasons to show off their skin. With Dupixent, the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists, they can stay ahead of their eczema. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema to help heal your child's skin from within. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Show off to the world. Ask your child's eczema specialist about Dupixent.
Today, tonight, and tomorrow, Cal Cars is kicking off the month with a 72-hour sale at both Cal locations, where they are marking down over 72 trucks, cars, and SUVs to sell fast, plus delaying all payments until August 1st. And $0 down is all you need. This is your chance to save thousands and trade your old vehicle in for something better with a complimentary 2-year service maintenance plan included. But it's only today through this Sunday at Cal.
You work hard for your money.
And now you can get money back on state taxes you already paid with the Washington State Working Families Tax Credit. Visit workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on our next job. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. Our thanks to Horizon Credit Union for sponsoring the 4 News Now Extreme Team.
Tesla's bluesy and soulful sound is still roaring and soaring live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, July 25th. Get your tickets now for one of the 80s hottest bands.
Winning is just the beginning. 4 News Now is brought to you by Summit Cancer Centers.
Take a look at this fire that's closed I-95 in Norwalk, Connecticut for an indefinite amount of time. Fire crews say this all started when 3 cars and a fuel tanker crashed into one another. One firefighter was taken to the hospital for a leg injury, but none of the drivers involved in the crash were seriously hurt. Wow. Well, for more than 50 years, marijuana has been classified as one of the most dangerous drugs in the United States.
It's been listed alongside other substances like heroin and MDMA, the key ingredient in ecstasy. Recently, the Biden administration recommended marijuana be reclassified as a lower drug. CNN's Ivan Rodriguez explains the impact this could create.
A potentially historic reversal.
Through decades of messaging and propaganda, we really created a major stigma around cannabis, so it became harder for politicians to recognize they were wrong.
The recommendation to lower marijuana to a Schedule III drug comes with the support of the U.S. Food and Drug Administration's Controlled Substance Agency because it meets 3 criteria: a lower potential for abuse than other substances, currently accepted medical use and treatment, and a low or moderate risk of physical dependence in people who abuse it.
It's going to help cannabis businesses operate like every other business in America.
State-licensed cannabis dispensaries and retail shops are expected to generate $32.1 billion in sales this year, according to estimates from MJ Biz, an industry trade publication. Rescheduling marijuana could open new economic avenues and new opportunities for research.
I think we've not even come close to realizing the medical potential of cannabis.
But the manufacture, distribution, and possession of recreational marijuana would remain illegal under federal law. A reason for the reintroduction of the Cannabis Administration and Opportunity Act, relaunched by senators Thursday. If passed by Congress and signed into law, it would end federal cannabis prohibition and expunge criminal records of people with low-level marijuana offenses.
It's past time for Congress to catch up with public opinion and to catch up with the science.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
Water, one of the world's most precious and important resources. But the pipes used to transport it into your home may also be contaminating it. And that is why President Biden today announced his administration will spend an additional $3 billion to replace toxic lead pipes across the country. According to the EPA, there is an estimated 9.2 million lead service lines in the U.S. The money building on the almost $6 billion in federal funding for water infrastructure projects was announced in February.
The science is clear. Lead service lines pose severe health risk, damaging brain and kidneys. In children especially, they stunt growth, slow learning, and cause lasting brain damage.
This effort is being paid for by the bipartisan infrastructure law. It's expected to replace 1.7 million lead pipes and help improve public health and clean drinking water.
Well, May is usually the time of year where we see peak flow on the river, but this year it may not look it because of all our low snowpack. Meteorologist Matt Gray breaks down what's going on up in the mountains and what that means for us.
And a push to make more evidence public in the University of Idaho murders case. Why the state says releasing it would hurt Bryan Kohberger's chances of getting a fair trial. Next on 4 News Now at 6:30.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
So what do you think about these? Yeah, we're going to take...
From design and products to removal and installation, we handle the entire process to create a beautiful and functional bathroom for whatever your life needs. Rebath, with you every step of the way. Don't relocate, renovate. As your needs change, update your bathroom with aging and accessibility solutions designed to keep the space safe and stylish. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,500 off your complete bathroom remodel.
Stay ahead of your moderate to severe eczema and show off clearer skin and less itch with Dupixent, the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists that helps heal your skin from within. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Ask your eczema specialist about Dupixent.
Today, tonight, and tomorrow, Cal Cars is kicking off the month with a 72-hour sale at both Cal locations, where they are marking down over 72 trucks, cars, and SUVs to sell fast, plus delaying all payments until August 1st. And $0 down is all you need. This is your chance to save thousands and trade your old vehicle in for something better with a complimentary 2-year service maintenance plan included. But it's only today through this Sunday at Cal.
I think I'm gonna go with a 9-iron.
I'd suggest a 7.
No.
Oh. Did you know that if a bird picks up your ball, you gotta follow it? Oh, there it is. I think it's to the right.
Nah.
Is this it?
Nope, not it.
More! Can I be frank? At STCU, we're always here to advise and consult, even if you want to go at it your own way.
Let's see what you've got, Frank. I think we should talk.
STCU Business. Partner up.
Next DT, only we're behind the scenes with the all-star voices of IF. Plus, our Station 19 exclusive with Boris the Boss.
It's being announced right here live on ET.
Next DT.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
Right now, there's just so much happening in our world. So much at stake at the start of every morning.
Making sense of it all, that's not always so easy.
And that's where we come in.
Good Morning America. We want you to know every morning.
We're right here, and we got you.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Welcome back. In the murder case involving 4 University of Idaho students, a judge ruled today that 2 upcoming evidence hearings will not be open to the public.
At those hearings, they'll be discussing evidence referenced in the affidavit of probable cause, including cell phone tower data of Bryan Kohberger the night of the murders. Jordan Smith watched that hearing today. He joins us now with why the judge ruled the way he did.
Well, the prosecution pressed the judge to keep these hearings private. They say that presenting evidence in this case to the public without context before a trial could ruin Kohberger's chances of receiving a fair one. The defense argued the opposite. Ann Taylor, Bryan Kohberger's attorney, said this is the 5th motion to compel they've filed. In other words, this is the 5th time they've asked the judge to get the prosecution to provide them information. The previous 3 have been public, and Taylor's asking why this would be any different. Taylor further argued the evidence referenced in the affidavit of probable cause, a public document, has led to a predetermined bias against Kohberger. But she claims the state has not provided them with these critical pieces of evidence, like the cell phone tower data that tracked Kohberger's location that night.
I would ask you to look at the probable cause affidavit and read the parts where they talk about relying on FBI agents and the CAST report and different cell tower data. Your Honor, that stuff's in the public eye. Why can't I talk about what they refuse to give me in the public eye?
And the state, meantime, says they're not strategically withholding information from the defense. They firmly stated they're waiting on other agencies like the FBI to give them some of this information. And the judge ultimately decided that these hearings will be closed off to the public, saying that these are complicated pieces of evidence, and he'd like to get a better understanding as to what's preventing the defense from receiving this information. In studio, Jordan Smith, 4 News Now.
All right, Jordan, thank you. A 17-year-old is now facing charges in connection to that drive-by shooting at Chief Garry Park on Tuesday night. But so far, police have not said how the teen was involved. Spokane police say this all started with a group of young people arguing. After shots were fired, another 17-year-old and 18-year-old Hunter Simmons drove away. Those two were caught Tuesday night and taken into custody. The 3 teens are now facing multiple charges.
The Shoshone County Sheriff's Office is looking for this man, 28-year-old Dylan Harrington. He's accused of killing 2 people in Chesaw, an area in Okanogan County near the Canadian border, in February of 2022. Law enforcement says Harrington was seen running from the property at the time of the murders, and they now believe he's hiding in Shoshone County. Anyone with information about Harrington is asked to call the sheriff's office.
Live look now over downtown Spokane. Beautiful evening in progress right now, and we do have more nice weather on the way. Wouldn't rule out an isolated sprinkle this evening. Here's a look at our Doppler radar, and we're watching some very light showers working their way through Bonner County, approaching Kootenai County right now. Very little of what you see here is reaching the ground. Just a few sprinkles around Sandpoint. May run into a shower in Newport, but the showers are also starting to weaken as they work their way through. Here's a live picture of Sandpoint at US 2 and Boyer at the roads with just a few sprinkles on them, not even a puddle. Again, this is the lightest of rain in contrast to what is coming in your weekend forecast. Here's a look at your Friday planner. Blue skies and sunshine to start the day tomorrow. 37 degrees in the morning. We're heading up to a high of 65. 63 is our average high. A few clouds developing in the afternoon. I'll be back in just a few minutes with a detailed look at your Bloomsday forecast. Derek?
All right, Chris, thanks so much. Well, May is usually the month when our rivers see the most spring snowmelt, but this year is probably going to look a little different.
Snowpack to start this month is the lowest it's been in many years. Meteorologist Matt Gray is here now tracking what that could mean for us later in the year.
And snowpack at the start of May is the lowest, get this, since 2016, and May is the main kind of melting month for a good portion of the inland Northwest. So the next 4 weeks of weather are going to be rather important down the line. Snowpack in the Spokane Basin has usually melted off by the last week of June or the first week of July. Last year, warm May weather helped the snowpack melt by, well, June 17th, so into the 3rd week. In 2016, the melt was June 20th, and in 2015, that was the earliest the snowpack has melted in the past 40 years, June 10th. So some numbers to keep in mind as we head through the rest of the spring. The earlier the snowpack melts, the drier our mountains can become as we head into fire season. It is not the most important factor when it comes to how bad fire season could get, but it is an indicator that people have watched over the years for a reason. Another consequence of quicker snowmelt has to do with river flows and water supplies. Once we pass the peak stream flow, we basically start a countdown to those inevitable water restrictions in the dry summer months as those river levels continue to fall. Historically, the Spokane River hits peak flow in mid-May, but with the snowpack now, how realistic is it that we're going to see much bigger flows than what we already had in the month of April? I think the likelihood is going down as we speak. It is really all up to the weather and what happens over the next few weeks. And even though it is going to be a cool and wet weekend, you're going to have snow levels anywhere between 5,000 to 8,000 feet. Warm rain on top of snow. It's going to melt some too, even with the cooler temperatures, at least for now. The good sign here is that there's no big heat waves on the horizon that would put that risk of snowpack melting out several weeks early in play yet.
All right, thank you, Matt. Well, hey, check your refrigerator because 16,000 pounds of ground beef sold at Walmart is being recalled. Officials say that the beef may be contaminated with E. coli, and the recall affects several products, including both patties and trays of ground beef, ground chuck, and ground sirloin. The USDA says you should throw the meat away or return it. For a full list of the recalled products, visit USDA.gov and click on recalls.
Well, around the nation now, as college campus protests and attempts to end them spread from New York to Los Angeles, President Joe Biden finds himself caught in a series of political and diplomatic issues without an easy solution.
CNN's Julia Benbrook takes a closer look at the challenges for his administration.
President Joe Biden is addressing the pro-Palestinian protests taking place on college campuses.
It needs to be done without violence, without destruction, without hate.
While speaking at the White House, the president said the National Guard would not be deployed, but said that the images coming in from across the country have, quote, put to the test 2 fundamental American principles.
First is the right to free speech. and for people to peacefully assemble and make their voices heard. The second is the rule of law. Both must be upheld.
Up until now, Biden has largely avoided speaking about the protests.
There should be no place on any campus, no place in America for anti-Semitism or threats of violence against Jewish students. There is no place for hate speech or violence of any kind, whether it's anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, or discrimination against Arab Americans or Palestinian Americans.
While Biden navigates protest at home, he's also navigating a highly sensitive moment in the Gaza war, as Israel and Hamas pursue a fresh proposal to secure the release of hostages held by Hamas and pause the fighting. An outcome some advisors hope could lower the temperature at home, ahead of the contentious 2024 presidential election. A recent CNN poll shows that 71% disapprove of Biden's handling of the war in Gaza, including an 81% disapproval mark from voters younger than 35 and a majority disapproval among Democrats. Reporting at the White House, I'm Julia Benbrook.
Well, talk of extortion, tabloid tales, and lawyer games as the former attorney for adult film actress Stormy Daniels returned to the stand today in former President Donald Trump's historic hush money trial. Trump's lawyers pressing Keith Davidson on his legal record with other celebrities like Lindsay Lohan and Charlie Sheen, appearing to suggest Davidson committed extortion when he negotiated that payment with Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen. Davidson denying any wrongdoing, testifying Mr. Trump sought to silence Daniels because that Access Hollywood tape had already come out and his 2016 campaign couldn't take another sex scandal.
One of the things that Davidson is detailing to the jurors is that, look, at the end of the day, Cohen's priority was clear. He wanted to keep her silent to protect his client.
Cohen paying Daniels just days before the election. Prosecutors saying Mr. Trump improperly calling it a legal expense when he repaid Cohen. The defense arguing Trump wanted to protect his family when that payment was made. Trump pleading not guilty to falsifying business records and denying any sexual encounter with Daniels.
Still to come here at 6:30, we take a look at this year's Bloomsday Field, which athletes you need to keep an eye on next in sports.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
My advice to all the fathers out there, they grow up way too fast for you to waste even a single precious moment.
So what do you think about these?
We're going to take everything.
From design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,500 off your complete bathroom remodel.
Depression and anxiety rob millions of us of our day-to-day lives, but nothing seems to pull you out of it. Introducing Neurostim TMS, Washington's leading provider of transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS therapy. TMS activates the natural function of the brain's neurotransmitters to improve mood and regulate emotion. TMS is not shock therapy. It's an FDA-approved, easy outpatient experience and covered by all major medical insurances. Visit neurostimtms.com or call to schedule your free consultation now.
Don't miss the anniversary celebration at Quality Stoves and Spas. The largest selection of fireplaces, inserts, and stoves at tremendous savings. Featuring low pie and fireplace extraordinaire. Ends Saturday at Quality Stoves and Spas in Post Falls.
The Medellin Falls Bigfoot Festival returns to Pend Oreille County June 15th and 16th. Discover the rich history, folklore, and mystery. From Sasquatch-themed crafts to Bigfoot merchandise, a 5K fun run, and plenty of food. This event is guaranteed to leave you amazed and entertained. Hear from the county's experts about their Bigfoot sightings or sign up for the Presenters Dinner and talk with them firsthand. The Medellin Falls Bigfoot Festival. For tickets and information, go to mf-bigfoot.com.
Residential Home Solutions is excited to announce our Win 24 in 24. You heard that right. Win 24,000 in new windows and entry doors installed by our truly local company. To qualify, you must meet the following: be a homeowner and live in our region. No purchase is necessary to enter, and we provide free estimates to show what you could win. Go to residentialhs.com to enter or call 892-6460. Win 24 in 24 with Residential Home Solutions. Home improvements, custom fit for life.
So what do you think about these?
We're going to take everything.
From design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us us or visit rebath.com and save $1,500 off your complete bathroom remodel.
All right, welcome back. Bloomsday 2024 will feature athletes of all shapes and sizes, but the most competitive races will, once again, be in the elite divisions.
That's right. Some of the world's best athletes will showcase their skills of speed and endurance right in our own backyard. Sports director Julian Minnesone gives us a look at this year's field.
Sunday, Spokane will turn into a runner's paradise. More than 32,000 people at this year's Bloomsday across multiple divisions. From elite athletes to para-athletes to families, organizers are expecting competitive races in all divisions.
By the time Sunday morning rolls around, everything's worth it.
Andy LaFreese has been putting together the elite Bloomsday field since 2017. But because it's an Olympic year, getting some of the top runners to join was a major hurdle.
We've had multiple athletes this year who dropped out kind of at the last minute and said, hey, I think I've got a chance to run, the 5,000 or the 10,000 meters for my country.
This year's Bloomsday is part of the Pro Championship, which is the series of classic road races where elite runners compete for a title, which also attracts top-tier talent.
That adds depth for our field and a lot of people who are in the best shape of their life, and it makes it harder for us to estimate who's actually going to really run fast.
The women's field is headlined by two-time Olympian Olga Mazaronik, while the men's side features last year's third-place finisher, Mogos Tomei.
You get athletes who are trying really hard to make an Olympic team, and so they're in the best shape of their life.
The elite wheelchair division has 21 racers, but there will be 2 new champions this year, as the previous men's and women's winners will not be competing.
It's a roller coaster for the wheelchair racers. The top men will get over 40 miles an hour going down some of these hills.
There are a handful of road races on the pro circuit. Organizers say Bloomsday separates itself from others by going the extra mile for its runners.
Our athletes were practicing on Doomsday Hill this week, and the horns are honking, people are cheering, and it's just the community rallies around this event. And I think a lot of the internationals that come in that don't have a big training group or a lot of support just really get that good Spokane feeling from it.
The elite wheelchair racers start the day at 8:30 a.m. on Sunday. Reporting in Spokane, Julian Minnesone, 4 News Now Sports.
And more than 10 different countries are represented among those elite divisions. It used to be you could just bet on Kenya to win, men's or women's. Not so much the case in recent years, though, so we'll see what happens.
That's why a lot of people enjoy it every year, because it's a little different every year. And hey, the 50th anniversary of Expo 74 begins Saturday, and there's a whole lot of events. A lot of them are also free.
Some really cool activities. We'll have a Pickle Fest, a pickleball tournament that will take place here at Riverfront Park, a tribal fashion show and music festival, a multi-nation powwow in the convention center, which is very neat. That will be a big crowd. The MAC, they're highlighting Expo and their exhibit for the next rest of the year, really.
Opening ceremonies are this Saturday. There will be speeches, a concert, and a drone show.
Well, I'll be back with your Bloomsday Expo forecast after the break. But first, checking in Old Town, where the roads are wet with a passing shower moving through the Newport area. May make its way into northern Spokane and Kootenai counties here in the next half hour. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Ready for action? It's no holds barred as King of the Cage features upcoming MMA stars battling it out for their next big ticket fight. King of the Cage, live at Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, June 13th.
Winning is just the beginning.
With local utility rebates and massive tax credits available, it's now possible to upgrade to a heat pump for less than a traditional air conditioner. Heat pumps are far more efficient than air conditioners when it comes to heating and cooling your home. Get year-round comfort with higher efficiency, all while lowering your monthly utility bills. So don't be fooled into buying outdated air conditioning technology. Upgrade to a heat pump, the smart choice for smart homeowners. Call Bill's Heating and AC today for your free estimate.
Hi, I'm Doug Trudeau with Trudeau's Marina. Summer's just around the corner. It's time to get out on the water. We have the most popular boats in the industry, premium crafted Sea Ray boats, family fun Bayliner boats, including the Element Series, VR Series, and DX Series boats. Heyday surf boats, great way to get on the water and go surfing. Crestliner fishing boats, and new this year, Princecraft pontoons. So if you're in the market for a boat, come in and see us at Trudeau's Marina in downtown Spokane.
Spring
Spring is in full bloom at Ritter's with acres of trees, shrubs, and perennials. Greenhouses bursting with flowers for containers and bedding. Exquisite fountains, benches, and sculptures. Experienced experts to help you choose what to grow at your home. And all 3-gallon and larger rhododendrons and azaleas are 25% off. So come up to Ritter's. Ritter's Garden and Gift on North Division.
I'm Chad Young from the Easy Home Buyer, and I pay cash for houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast for cash, call us today for your no-obligation as-is cash offer. We buy houses in any condition, and there are no fees, no commissions, and no repairs. We buy houses with tenants, fixer-uppers, bare land, even haunted houses. Woo! Call us today or visit us online at theeasyhomebuyer.com.
Pick up the phone to inquire. Call the Easy Home Buyer.
Tesla's bluesy and soulful sound is still roaring and soaring live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, July 25th. Get your tickets now for one of the 80s hottest bands.
Winning is just the beginning.
4 News Now is brought to you by Visit Downtown Coeur d'Alene this holiday season.
Well, this video is pretty scary. A close call crash in Oregon. You see that driver in the SUV. He barely avoided crashing head-on into a semi while trying to pass another big rig. There it is again. Oregon State Police using this video to remind drivers to only pass when it is safe to do so, calling that driver incredibly lucky.
I saw that on social media the other day, and it gave me anxiety watching it, even though I knew the outcome. It's like, wow.
I gasped. I had visceral reaction. That is terrifying.
I don't pass very often, so it's not my thing.
No, well, geez, that's hard to wrap your head around. Let's move on to the weather, shall we? Forecast Focus. Let's start with 4 things to know. Boy, Friday is just going to be beautiful. A day very much like today, a mix of sun and clouds, more sun than clouds, especially the first part of the day. That takes us into a warm but cloudy Saturday. Still fine-tuning the timing on the rain Saturday. Could have some sprinkles as early as late morning. More likely that accumulating rain is going to hold off until late in the day. And then we head into a cool and wet Bloomsday. Here's a look at your weekend forecast with the showers on Saturday and a high temperature close to 70 degrees. 49 on Sunday, so at least a 20-degree drop, because I think if anything, my Saturday temperature might be a little low, and I think if anything, my Sunday temperature might be a little high. So stay tuned for that. If it is a little high, here's a look at some Bloomsday records. Matt Gray made this up for us. Our average high is 65 degrees for Bloomsday. The warmest it's ever been is 81, and I've heard that was miserable. The coldest, and this is for the highs, was 47 degrees. We could tie that easily. And our coldest start, now here is something, was 34 degrees, but with the clouds and the showers, will actually be warmer. We should be in the 40s at race time, so that is good news. We've had rain 13 times, and we have had snow on Bloomsday. I've been grappled on Bloomsday. Here's a look at your weather pattern. We have a cold front coming through Saturday. Will still be plenty warm. It's going to bring that wet weather, especially for Saturday night and into Sunday morning, with some mountain snow on Sunday as well. And a big drop in temperatures. Will stay cool through the middle of next week and then start to warm up heading into next weekend. There's a look at your forecast. Friday's beautiful, Thursday's beautiful, and so's Wednesday. There's a little bit of a fun in there. I will tell you that I got a text from a farmer on the Pion Prairie that says they are going to be welcoming that rain because they are seeding their fields. So as you are running up Doomsday Hill in the rain, think of our beloved farmers, and they are seeding.
There you go.
Love that. And hey, one of the best parts of living here in the Inland Northwest is being able to pack up a backpack, maybe grab a couple sandwiches, and hit one of the hundreds of amazing hiking trails in our area.
But sometimes that backpack can bring on back pain.
If you're going on a large trip and things aren't packed properly, it definitely will ruin your your trip, you'll not have a good time, that's for sure.
Backpacks come in all shapes and sizes, so you want to make sure you get the right one. A doctor at Multicare says one common issue is that people buy the wrong size pack. He says backpacks are sized based on your torso and not your overall height. One way to tell if it fits properly is that there are no gaps between you and the bag, and most of the weight should be felt on your hips rather than on your shoulders. Now, Kirsten, these same tips also apply to normal school backpacks. I know my kids, I mean, they have to haul all their books and their laptop. Their bags are like 30 pounds.
I was going to ask how your boys do with those.
I don't know how they do those kids. They're real heavy.
Be more digital at this point, but no, you got to have that laptop.
All right, here's your look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
It's more than a necklace. Celebrate the moment. Tracy Jewelers.
4 News Now and STCU are teaming up for a one-day Coats for Kids closet cleanout. Gather up your gently used winter jackets and donate them to us all day, Thursday, May 16th. Find a list of locations on KXLY.com.
It's a sit, sleep, and relax sale at Walker's Furniture as they kick off their Memorial Day savings early.
Everything you can sit down on, fall asleep on, or recline back in comfort on is on sale, with even bigger savings up to 70% off clearance items.
Take advantage of early Memorial Day savings, plus special 5 years financing is available with no money down, making it the perfect time to kick back, relax, and save.
This week at Walker's.
It all starts with a Chevy truck. Chevy Silverado with the Turbo Max engine and best-in-class standard torque. And Chevy Silverado HD with up to 14 available camera views. Do more in a Chevy truck. Get yours now.
Get $5,750 total value on this Silverado when you trade in an eligible vehicle. That's 10% below MSRP. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
If you have a vehicle you no longer need, you can give it new purpose through Union Gospel Mission. Simply go to ugmmotors.org or call 509-327-HELP to schedule a pickup. Your donation gives people like Tyler food, shelter, job training, and the opportunity for a whole new life. Be a driver of change. Donate your vehicle to Union Gospel Mission.
It's more than a necklace. Celebrate the moment. Tracy Jewelers.
Nationwide campus unrest. Next in Sun Edition, will cops now become a permanent presence on college campuses for the rest of the semester? Then, the vampire facial. Celebrities swear by it. But can it be dangerous? What this doctor wants everyone to know before you consider the vampire facial.
Having your own blood put on your face can be very scary and daunting.
Next in Sun Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
Around the Northwest.
I thought I was dead, seriously. Everybody said, you know, I need to buy a lottery ticket last night because, yeah, I was lucky.
Well, this is Gregory Sannon. He was just driving to work on Interstate 5 in Linwood yesterday when this giant steel beam crashed through his windshield.
He hit the car so hard, but I think he didn't hit me. He hit the steering wheel. Even the steering wheel even bent from the impact.
Washington State Patrol is investigating and says a man was seen throwing debris off an overpass. Investigators aren't sure where that beam came from. There are no construction sites in the immediate area. WSP is trying to find more witnesses who may be able to help catch the person responsible. Terrifying, though.
I know.
And so lucky. I mean, a few inches one way or another could be dead.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Between that and the car going between the semis, I may just walk home. Seriously.
Be careful.
Yeah, and don't throw things at other drivers.
Well,
Come on.
All right, thanks for watching 4 News Now at 6. Tune in for Nightside tonight at 11.